Hello people, I'm just doing an unboxing video. I'm not usually doing unboxing videos, but I just got this Rlaarlo car. It's the new edition, the brushless. It's Rlaarlo 006 is the model called. So just a quick look, this is the box on the outside. You can read all the specs on the internet. It's a 14 scale car. I usually not like the 10 scale or even, yes, the smaller cars like the 14, but it's got good speed and I'm gonna use this for some funny bashing, jumping and see what it can take. Spare parts for cars like this are quite cheap, so that's also why it's nice to use these cars for some jumping. If you break something, it's not that expensive to fix. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to buy this car. I bought the metal edition, not the carbon fiber edition. I could get the carbon fiber edition for $100, but I ordered the metal edition. It's about $50 more, about $150. And why did I buy the metal edition? Because when you bash hard and jump, you break stuff, and carbon fiber breaks. Metal is a bit heavier, but if you bend like the shock tower or the chassis or something, it's just to use the hammer to fix it. You usually don't break the metal parts completely. So I ordered some spare parts also. I see I got this steering module. I ordered this because I had a 14 scale car before, and one thing that was a problem with that car was that I sometimes broke off this part of the steering module when just doing some small jumps. So if this car isn't stronger, I have to have spares of this. I think it was on this side I broke it. So we're going to see if this is stronger. This is not in metal, this is in plastic. Really, this part should also be in metal, at least these horns, because they can get some forces on them and break. If not, servo saver is working alright, but we will see. I just ordered this for a spare. I think I ordered some other spares also, but I know Rlaarlo said that I ordered the hubs, but they said that I couldn't use the hubs that were first listed on the web pages. So I got a refund for that, but they should really list the hubs soon on the web pages, but I could maybe use the parts for the WlToys 144001 car. I will try that later. So this is the accessory kit you get. You may be seeing this already on many other YouTubers. Let me just open here. This is the bumper. I will try to use this, but I'm not sure if it's gonna break off too easy when jumping. But we can try to mount it and see how it goes. Get a battery, but I already got some batteries. But alright, I'm gonna try this battery also. I'm just gonna change the plug. I'm gonna use the, what it's called, the EC60 or something, I'm not sure. Got some tools, some spare hexes, nuts there, and spare dog bones, or what they call it. Good to have if they break. And a bag of spare arms, that's really nice. And also the spare hingpin blocks, that's also good. And some screws, they are maybe for the, is it the, yes, it's the, oh, what it's called again. It's the droop screws, really. So it have droop, yes, it have holes in the arms here, so you can set the droop. That is nice, but I'm not sure if it's necessary, but I could check that. It's just ordinary. I'm not sure if this is it 2.5 or is it? Yes, it's, I think it's 2.5 millimeter diameter screws. So you can just use regular screws if you want. And this is the user manual. I hope you can see this now, because you can't download the user manual at their website. Let's see here. I can just go through the user manual, and if the image quality is good enough, you could maybe maximum the video and just read. And just stop the video where you want to read some part of the user manual. They're explaining the cars here, how you use the transmitter. I'm gonna try to use this transmitter and receiver because I really want to test the car. I've seen that some people have problems with the transmitter, that it's not have a very good range. Also, that some people have problem with the throttle, that even when giving max throttle on the transmitter, it won't give max throttle on the car. So they modify the transmitter a bit. They just shave off some plastic parts or something like that. But I believe Rlaarlo have fixed that now. So I hope this transmitter and receiver is working good. So we will see that later. So you have your exploding views on how to assemble and disassemble the car. And what is a bit funny really is that they have listed all parts. That's good with pictures and names, but it's no part numbers. But alright, if you go to the website of Rlaarlo, you will find the parts there. And here I have the hubs, metal front C-seat, metal back C-seat, metal front C-seat, the shelf they call it. So this is the metal edition, not the carbon fiber. Just stop the video where we want to take some more time on this user manual. Hope you can see the different things there. I can go through the parts again. There we have screws and hubs and some diff parts. Yes, more parts here. Links and different things. More screws and then complete diffs and hinge pin blocks, suspension blocks. So that was the user manual. Here we have the transmitter, and as I said, some people have reported problem. Not very good range. Also, some have problems that the car is not giving throttle. It's very very big, what they call it. It's idle band, what they call it. So you push the throttle, but it will not start to move before you really push a big way. So we try if that is alright. The transmitter feels alright. I like it that it's quite small and light, and I get my finger inside. That's good. They just give some advice for beginners here, how to use the transmitter. So I think it's alright for this car, this price. It feels okay. But of course, it depends on the range, how good the receiver and transmitter work, the latency, how fast it responds, and how it feels with the throttle and brakes, everything. The steering wheel feels good, really. Alright, that was all in that box. There we have the car itself. Nothing in here and nothing in here. just the card. Nothing here. So that's everything, I believe. Didn't I order some more spare parts? I know there should come some more in later. But alright. So I only got the steering module, a spare part that's not included in the box. That's something I paid extra for. I also ordered the spare hubs, but Rlaarlo did mail me and say that the parts I have ordered does not fit this car, so they have not listed the spare hubs yet on their webpage, so I hope they come later. So this is the car. As some other people have said, the wing is large and nice, I think. It's quite flexible, so it shouldn't break that easy. The wing mount is also alright, I think. I have a friend that are doing 3D printing, so I may be gonna give him the wing mount so he can make some wing mounts in a more flexible material. Because when jumping and landing on the wing like this or something, sooner or later it's gonna break. And this is the wheelie bar. That's nice, also flexible, I see. But it feels okay, it's alright. And this is the metal chassis. It's not carbon fiber, as you can see. So let's see the difference between this metal edition and the carbon fiber edition. This is the body. I'm gonna paint this. I think it looks alright, but I just want to have another look, really. So I'm gonna paint that. I'm also gonna change the plug here to the DC60, what they call it, because the batteries I have used these plugs. I'm just gonna drive this car mostly on 2S because I'm doing bashing. On 3S this car is wild, really wild and going fast. And the steering can be a really issue when driving off-road. And I'm usually driving mostly on off-road, like on sand, on gravel and that stuff, and jumping. But let's see. The arms, they are not in metal. The arms are plastic. Okay. The chassis is in metal. The shock mounts, they are in metal. And the hing pin blocks are in metal. Front, the rear front, the front rear and the rear rear. So all the parts that are in carbon fiber on the carbon fiber edition is here in metal. So the car is maybe a bit more heavy, but not much. But for me the benefit is that typically this shock mount will not break that easy. It will probably just bend if I land like this on something or crash into something. And then if you bend something, you just take the car home and use the hammer to fix it. Alright? You don't break it usually. So that's why I ordered the metal edition. The shocks feel really good, really. You can see. Yeah, really nice setup. I think that's alright. So I'm gonna just test the car with the shock and the oil that's inside. I am of course gonna disassemble the car a bit to check the diffs and check that it's filled up all the shocks. And you get thread on the shocks, so it's easy to adjust. Here the shocks. So how is the chassis? I tried to bend the chassis a bit. Yeah, it's quite stiff. It's alright. So you just have two diffs on this car, one in the front and one in the rear. I think the spur gear is in metal. That's what other people have reported with the carbon fiber edition car. So the driveline is in metal, as I understand it, and the servo looks alright, strong enough. So I'm going to use this car as it is, more or less, and mostly driving on 2S battery. So I will come back when I start to test this car. I will test it on 2S, and I also can test it a bit on 3S just to check the speed. And I want to see, I just got this car today, so I want to see if Rlaarlo now have started to send out the car with a new fixed transmitter, so we don't have this bug with the throttle not giving maximum throttle when you give maximum throttle, and if the range also have been modified a bit. I see some people, they open the transmitter and pull out the what it's called, antenna, so they have that sticking out, and they report that that's helping a bit. So you can maybe do that if it's still an issue, but I want to test it as it is. So I'm gonna open the car. I'm gonna check the diffs in the front and the rear, if it's some grease or oil inside. They are turning really easy now, the diffs. So if there's some oil or grease there, it's very lightly. Yes, you don't have any center diff, so it's directly transmission. If you stop the rear wheels, the front wheels will also stop. But that's alright for a small car like this. One weak point of this car is that you have the ESC integrated with the receiver. So if you want to change the receiver, you also have to change the complete the complete ESC, as I know about it. It would be nice if you could just change the receiver, but I'm not sure if that's possible at all. What is good is you have a 3-line servo, so you can change the servo. That's alright, but I will just drive this. And I'm not sure what motor they use in this car, but it looks more than fast enough and strong enough, so I'm just gonna use that. It was something other I had planned for. The hubs are in plastic. Looks like that, yes. The hubs are in plastic. Are they rare? The rare ones are also in plastic, yes. It looks like the 12mm hex are in metal. That's good. I've already ordered some parts for the WlToys 144001. I ordered arms and I ordered hubs, metal hubs. So I'm gonna see if the metal hubs and the arms for the WlToys car fit directly on this car. That's very good to know. Also because it's more easy for me to order them here in Norway where I'm living, so I don't have to order parts directly from Rlaarlo on the internet. And I really want to change the hubs to metal, both in the rear and the front. Because when bashing hard and jumping, hubs are some parts that usually break. But I will keep the arms in plastic, because you have to have some parts in plastic, because plastic bends more easy and rebends. And if you break a plastic arm, it's very cheap to replace. And it's also done quite fast. So if you're out driving, you can do that in the field if you have some spare parts with you and tools. So I'm not going crazy on changing everything to metal parts. I think that's not a good way if you're doing hard bashing. If you're using the car only for on-street racing or speedruns, maybe, because then you don't have these great forces on the car when jumping and landing on sides and on the upside down and everything. So yes, the hubs I want to have in metal, but that's really all. That's, I believe it's really all the upgrades I'm gonna do. And I would like to have the wing mount in a bit more flexible material. So maybe I'm gonna ask my friend if he can try to make it. If somebody knows if it's already some 3D printing drawings online for this wing mount, just send me a note, a link on the description comment felt on this video, and I can just send the files to my friend so he can print that. I've had the 1/14 scale car before, and why I don't like them is because when driving and on uneven ground like a football soccer field, is that when you have small stones like this or something and the car are hitting, the car can flip and jump very much on small stones, so it's very uneven. It's typically roll over a lot easy. The bigger cars like the 1/8 scale cars are heavier and don't usually roll over or jump that much because of small stones. So I think the 1/8 scale cars behave more like a real car. It looks like more like a real car when it's driving fast on gravel or sand or something like that than when you turn and drift or slide. It's also more easy to hold the direction more straight with a bigger and more heavy car. The smaller cars, because they are jumping and doing all these crazy movements, are harder to keep the direction straight when you're driving on uneven ground. But as I said, the prices for spare parts are a lot more cheap for these small cars, and you got the speed and you got 90% of the same experience. So it's really a good size if you're buying your first car and just want to see if it's something you want to spend more money on. This car is driving very good on 2S. I think the speed is up to, what is reported, is it up to 60 kilometers per hour or something? And when driving on 3S they are reporting up to 80 kilometers per hour or something. So in 3S it's a bit too fast really for off-road driving, and also the engine are getting a bit hot when driving on 3S off-road. So I'm going to do it mostly on 2S, see if that is enough speed. If not, I'm going to try to start using it on 3S. I also bought this wheels, and these are wheels for the WlToys 144001, if I remember right. I bought these because they have deeper treads. Yes, so these wheels I think are more suited for off-road driving. They are about the same size you can see, both in diameter and in the width. So I'm gonna change the wheels to these wheels. Just when you order, you will see that there are one wheel for the front. They are a bit narrower, and these are for the back. They are a bit wider. So this for the back, rear, and this is for the front. So this, I believe these wheels are better for driving off-road, like on gravel, sand, like a soccer or football field. Yes. So when I get the parts, spare parts I ordered for the WlToys car, I'm gonna try out the arms to see if they just fit. If that's fits, that's very good. And I'm gonna try to mount the metal hubs. I only got one of the. In the front you have this, what I call this, the C ring or something, and the other part I just got one of them in metal. And in the rear you have only one hub part, so that's in metal. So I hope they fit, and if they fit I'm gonna change them, and I'm gonna change the wheels. Everything else I'm gonna keep, just gonna paint the body. So I come back later when I'm ready to start test driving this car on both 2S and 3S. Just to check the speed, and later when I start to bash and jump it. So that's gonna be fun. I hope the transmitter and receiver are working good. It's would be too bad if Rlaarlo are sending out still the transmitter with this bug. And I hope they also fixed the range a bit, so I will report back on that also later. The shocks looks very nice, really. I think it's a funny little car. Is the price alright? I paid about $150 for this car. It's a 3S compatible brushless system. I would like that the receiver was a separate unit, so you could change the receiver. But alright, $150. It's okay, I think. Not bad. As long as the cars hold together good. I've seen on other YouTubers that they have broken a hub when jumping, and I think they broke a shock tower, but that was carbon fiber, and I also seen, I believe, that they broke a shock mount there. But that looks like it's just a screw that's going through. So if you break that, you just change the screw. So that's easy fix. And with metal shock towers, you just use the hammer to straighten them out if you bend them. Also the chassis, if you bend the chassis, you can just straighten it out. Yeah, looks good. I'll come back later when I'm ready to start driving this car. If you have any questions, just ask in the comment field, the description. No, yeah, that's comment field. I try to answer. I could maybe also report back when I've got the WlToys parts, and we can see if the arms and the hubs fit directly to this car. So be back. Thank you.